Hashem Kol Yisrael. Rabbi Gedalia Moshe Goldman was imprisoned in the Siberian labor camp during World War II. Rabbi Gedalia Moshe was the son of the famed Zvhiller Rebbuh, and he himself would soon be known to the world as the Zvhiller Rebbuh. When Rabbi Gedalia was just 18, he was appointed the Rav of his community. Apparently, he knew the Talmud by heart. He could even do the pin test. You know, you take an imaginary pin, you put it through Daf and Gemara, and you know what's on the other side. That's how well he knew the Torah text. He was an extremely righteous man. He would always put on tefillin and never desecrated Shabbos, even in the terrors of the Siberian camp. But there was one time when it came really close. The story goes that after a very long time of back-breaking work, unbelievably freezing cold conditions, a commander comes and says, Rav Gedalia, come with me. And he took another old man with him. He put papers before him on the table, and he said, just sign the documents, you're free to go. The only problem was, it was Shabbos. And of course, Rav Gedalia would never desecrate Shabbos. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't write on Shabbos. And the man looked at him like he was crazy. Sign the document. He said, no, it's Shabbos. I can't desecrate Shabbos. And now he was angry. He said, if you don't sign the document, you're going to rot here and you're going to die. And Rav Gedalia said, I don't care. I'm not desecrating Shabbos. Moving on. The man turned to the old man. The commander said, sign the documents and you can go home. And the old man, drawing strength from Rav Gedalia, said, no, I can't do it. Shabbos. And the angry commander took away the papers, but right before he walked out of the room, Rav Gedalia Moshe, the Zvhiller Rebbuh, said, wait, I want to sign the documents for my friend, for the old man. Puzzled, the commander didn't understand. So the Rav explained, for me, I'll survive. I'm young, I'm strong. I can't write on Shabbat, on Shabbos. But for this old man, it's pikuach nefesh. It's life-threatening. So I'm allowed to break Shabbos. I'm allowed to sign the document. Something of the stony heart of this commander was moved. And he said, you know what? Forget it. You can both go. And in that way, Rav Gedalia Moshe Goldman, the Zvhiller Rebbuh, continued on in his life. Who is the Zvhiller Rebbuh to me? Well, I'll tell you, a few years back, I was in a tough situation. And I was asking around, Chevra, where do I go to daven? Which Rebbes to see? Which holy sites to pray at? And if you ask around in Yerushalayim, eventually someone's going to tell you about what we jokingly call the Gan Sacher Rebbe. In other words, the little grave site right in the back of Gan Sacher, right between Cinema City and the Supreme Court, is a little graveyard, maybe about 200 graves. And the rumor is that that's a place to go to see Zchus, to see salvation. So I headed there. I went on my little journey. And the rumor was you had to go 3 times, on a Monday, Thursday, Monday, give a little bit of tzedakah, and, say the Tehillim, and then make your request. So I get in there. There's throngs of people, some looking more religious, some looking less religious. And what I noticed is lots of signs. I prayed to get a new apartment, and I was saved. I prayed to have children, and I was saved. Apparently, after your salvation happens and your prayers are heard in the Zchus of the Rebbe, so the custom is to write a little note that says you were saved and to mefarsim, to let people know about it. And many people bring food. So there's a table set up with peanuts and all sorts of drinks and seltzer and soda and all sorts of things to say a bracha on before you go into the graveyard. There's also a mincha and a mariv, which is very convenient if ever playing sports in Gan Sacher and I need a mincha mariv minyan. In any case, I went in there, I lit my candle, I did my prayers, And Baruch Hashem, it took a little while, but indeed I did see a salvation come from my prayers, of course praying to Hashem, but knowing that the Rebbe was davening up there in the heavens. I've heard a few stories attributed to how the Zvhiller Rebbuh got here. So first off, in 1948, Har HaZeitim and many other burial sites were closed off for the Jews of Yerushalayim. It was in Jordanian hands, and so many small little graveyards arose like this one in the corner of the city. So that began the beginning of the Zvhiller Rebbuh. Apparently, just a few years back, a woman who is a relative of the Zvhiller Rebbuh in London had a dream. And in the dream, the Rebbe came to her and said, you got to get the word out. People should come and pray. Monday, Thursday, Monday, and I'll pray for them in the heavenly realms. And so, indeed, she got the word out. You'll see many, many people coming, praying at the site of the Zvhiller Rebbuh. How did this little place get taken care of? So, another amazing story. There's a man who was told of the effectiveness of prayer at the Zvhiller Rebbuh's gravesite. He went to say a prayer there, but the whole place was dirty, disgusting. No one was taking care of it. And so he was walking there, and a security guard from the Supreme Court saw this man coming and said, who gave you the authority to be here? Do you have the Ishur? Do you have the okay? And he said, of course I do. Showed him his Teudat Zehut, and the man radioed in with someone, does this man have the okay? And somehow, amazingly enough, whatever commander was on the other side said, yeah, no problem. So first he came and cleaned the place up, and the next time he came with a bulldozer. The security guard saw the next time, do you have the okay for the bulldozer? And he radioed in, and the commander on the other side said, sure, of course. And slowly, he fixed the place up, and the Zvhiller Rebbuh's gravesite was made to look respected. And to this day, you'll see, again, throngs of people coming and praying at the holy Zvhiller Rebbuh's gravesite. And Hashem should bless us all to see salvations during this time. If you have some free time, why not? Go say a tefillah at the Rebbe, and Bezrat Hashem, he'll daven alongside us for all of Am Yisrael to see Yeshuas. Shia es amecha, uvarech nachalatecha, ay ay ay, urei menasem Adonai.